A very good morning, I be to Dr. Kok and all my friends. So today I will do task 2, which is presentation of research proposal. My name is Fazlyana Binti and my IC number is 030410120812. So this is the table of content of my study. The first one is chapter 1.0, which is introduction, chapter 2.0 literature review, chapter 3.0 methodology, and the last one is references. By the way, the title of my study research is Effectiveness of Game-Based Learning in Inspiring Active Learning to Enhance the Mathematical Concept Among Students. So this is the chapter 1.0 introduction. So the problem statement of my research is the Malaysian education system, like many others globally, faces the challenge of catering to diverse learning needs and adapting to the demand of the 21st century knowledge economy. Thus, game-based learning has emerged as a promising avenue for enhancing student engagement, motivation, and learning outcomes, particularly in the domain of mathematics education. In this context, the integration of game-based learning into mathematics education holds immense potential to address this challenge by providing students with interactive and immersive situational learning experiences, develop knowledge and cognitive skills, and to learn by problem solving. However, studies related to how game-based learning can enhance mathematical concepts are insufficient, and research on how active learning can strengthen mathematical concepts is less effective because many students have high level of active learning but not very deep in mathematical concepts. Therefore, a study should be conducted to effectiveness of game-based learning in inspiring active learning to enhance students' mathematical concepts. Next, we will talk about objectives and question of the research. So, the research objective is to examine the effectiveness of game-based learning, improving students' active learning. Next, to examine the effectiveness of game-based learning in improving students' mathematical concepts. And the last one is to determine the impact of active learning in enhancing students' mathematical concept. And the research questions is how far the game-based learning help in improving students' active learning, how far the game-based learning in improving students' mathematical concept, and what is the impact of active learning in enhancing students' mathematical concept. Next is hypothesis of the research. The first hypothesis is there is no significant difference in active learning of people who participate game-based learning compared to those who receive traditional approach. And there is no significant difference in mathematical concept of people who participate game-based learning compared to those who receive traditional approach. And next is scope and limitation. The first one is will entail evaluating student performance through standardized tests and performance tasks before and after and during a follow-up period to measure both short-term and long-term effects. Game-based learning here refers to assessing student performance by playing digital mathematical games, focusing on the topic of shape and space for year 3. A total of 60 students will be sampled for this experimental study to measure the influence of game-based learning on active learning and its impact on students' mathematical concept. And the scope of this study is confined to specific topic and grade range, potentially limiting its applicability. Additionally, factors such as students' background, in terms of technology access, classroom environment, teachers' technological proficiency, the student's ability to understand the game, and the duration of the game, practical constraint, internet access level during the study, and external changes in curriculum or policies could impact the interpretation result over time. Next, I will tell about the significance of the study. The first one is influence students' level of academic achievement because innovative and appropriate learning styles like game-based learning can influence active learning and students' reception of knowledge, especially in mathematical subjects. And for the teachers can adapt their teaching methodologies to create dynamic and interactive learning environment that cater to the diverse needs of their students, especially for their students' knowledge of mathematical concept. And the last one is for the school administrator, which this study helped to underscore the importance of providing teachers with professional development opportunities to effectively implement game-based learning strategy to their classroom. It is also hoped to aid in solidifying school decision regarding the mathematical subject. And next, we will talk about operational definition. The first one is for game-based learning. According to Nazira Matsin, games are solely for entertainment purpose, whereas digital game-based learning aims to cultivate skills and enhance knowledge for players or students. Game-based learning, whether in digital or non-digital form, aims to achieve set learning objectives. Moreover, games combined with artistic elements can enhance student creativity and imagination, facilitating their understanding of various fields of knowledge. The instructional methods serve as an intervention tool for the experimental group to assess the effectiveness of game-based learning in influencing active learning and student knowledge of mathematical concepts. And second one is operational definition for active learning. Active learning encompasses any educational activity wherein students actively participate or engage with the learning process rather than passively absorbing the information. According to Edward, active learning strategies can incorporate intellectual, social, and physical engagement concurrently are poised to offer a more enjoyable learning experience for students, all while addressing essential content they need to master. In the context of this study, active learning pertains to cognitive engagement and student involvement throughout the class. The last one is mathematical concept. Mathematical concept encompasses fundamental ideas or principles in mathematics, facilitating the organization and comprehension of mathematical knowledge by embodying relationships, structures, patterns, and properties inherent in mathematical object or system. Understanding these concepts involving grasping their definition, properties, and relationship with other mathematical ideas. Essentially, mathematical concepts provide a framework for reasoning, problem solving, and effectively communicating mathematical idea. They form the foundation upon which mathematical understanding and proficiency are developed. In this context of study, the knowledge of mathematical concept is to be examined pertains to concept within the topic of shape and space for year 3. Next, we will go through chapter 2.0, which is literature review. Now we will talk about game-based learning in mathematics teaching. Mathematics game-based learning is a teaching method that is suitable for mathematics instruction and facilitation at the elementary school level. This statement is concurred by Peter Azwa, Shanizan Herman, and Shanizan Imran, who assert that digital game-based learning provides room for active learning ideas through more innovative methods, thereby facilitating natural learning to occur without any prompting or with minimal guidance. Students learning mathematics through discovery-based methods are more active compared to students under traditional teacher-centered methods. Therefore, enhancing student enjoyment of mathematics is a key strategy to address boredom issue among students. Digital game-based learning methods provide positive mathematics learning experiences and can help improve students' achievement in mathematics. According to Chile, activity-based learning can enhance student academic achievement compared to traditional education in mathematics instruction. Furthermore, combining traditional teaching with technology can have an effective impact on mathematics learning. The integration of the technology can create effective and engaging teaching and learning experiences, sustaining student interest. Next is the effectiveness of digital game-based learning in enhancing students' level of active learning and mathematical knowledge. For digital game-based learning has emerged as a powerful tool for promoting active learning among students across various educational domains. Research has consistently shown the effectiveness of digital games in engaging learners in active participation in problem-solving activities. For example, for the past study found that students engaged in digital game-based learning exhibit higher level of active involvement as evidenced by increased exploration, experimentation, and collaboration compared to those in traditional classroom settings. Digital games provide opportunity for hands-on experiences, allowing students to manipulate variables, make decisions, and witness immediate consequences, thereby fostering deeper understanding and retention of course material. Moreover, the interactive and immersive nature of digital games captivates students' attention and motivates them to persist in learning tasks, leading to sustained engagement and active participation. Thus, digital game-based learning represents a promising approach to promoting active learning and enhancing student educational experiences. And digital game-based learning has emerged as a dynamic, engaging educational tools particularly in the realm of enhancing student mathematical knowledge. Numerous studies have underscored its effectiveness in facilitating deeper understanding and retention of mathematical concepts among learners. For instance, a meta-analysis conducted by Key revealed that digital game-based learning intervention has significantly improved the students' mathematical achievement scores compared to traditional instructional methods. These games not only foster active participation and problem-solving skills, but also provide immediate feedback, scaffolding, and adaptive challenge tailored to individual learners' needs. Furthermore, the immersive and interactive nature of digital games captivates students' interests and motivations, promoting prolonged engagement with mathematical content. Overall, the integration of digital game-based learning holds promise as a potent approach to enhance student mathematical knowledge acquisition and mastery. Now we will talk about the learning theory of game-based learning. The first one is constructivism. The constructivism learning theory proposed by scholars like Jan Piaget and Lev Vygotsky underscores the idea that learners are active participants in their own learning process. According to this theory, learners do not simply absorb knowledge passively, instead they actively construct their understanding through interaction with the environment. This process involves assimilating new information into existing mental frameworks and accommodating those frameworks to incorporate new knowledge. In this context of mathematics education, game-based learning provides an ideal platform for students to engage in this constructive process. As students play mathematical games, they are present with challenge and problem to solve, requiring them to apply their existing knowledge and skills in new contexts. Through this process of exploration and problem solving, students actively construct meaning and deepen their understanding of mathematical concepts. By experiencing mathematical concepts firsthand within the game environment and reflecting on their experiences, students are able to develop a more nuanced and flexible understanding of mathematics, leading to enhanced learning outcome. And thus, game-based learning serves as a powerful tool for facilitating active engagement with mathematical concepts in line with the principle of the constructivist learning theory. The next theory is social constructivism. Social constructivism, a theory rooted in the work of Lev Vygotsky, emphasizes the importance of social interaction in the learning process. According to this perspective, learning is not solely as an individual endeavor, but rather a collaborative and dialogic process. Alan Amora expands on this idea by suggesting that while games themselves may not directly transmit knowledge, they serve as catalysts for learning, particularly when integrated with social interaction among learners and educators. In the context of game-based learning, social constructivism highlights the role of dialogue and interaction in fostering knowledge construction. By engaging in discussion and group dynamic within the game environment, students can leverage collective experiences to deepen their understanding of mathematical concepts. This collaborative aspect of game-based learning aligns with the principle of social constructivism, providing a framework for enhancing active learning and promoting mathematical concept development among students. And in elementary mathematics education, collaborative learning plays a crucial role in fostering a supportive learning environment where students can learn from each other and construct knowledge together. Digital game-based learning platforms offer opportunities for collaborative problem-solving tasks, enabling students to work together in teams to tackle math problem or challenge. Through collaborative interaction within the game environment, students can engage in peer-to-peer teaching, share diverse perspectives, and collectively build their understanding of mathematical concepts. This collaborative approach not only promotes active engagement with mathematical content, but also enhances critical thinking skills and communication abilities among students. Therefore, by integrating collaborative elements into game-based learning activities, educators can create a conducive learning environment that nurtures mathematical concept development and encourages students' participation and engagement. Next is cognitive load theory. By presenting mathematical concepts in a visual, engaging, and interactive manner, game-based learning has the potential to reduce extraneous cognitive load and facilitate facilitate meaningful learning experiences for students. In traditional classroom settings, learners may experience cognitive overload when presented with abstract mathematical concepts or complex problem-solving tasks. However, game-based learning environment provide scaffolding and interactive feedback mechanism that guide students through the learning process, thereby mitigating cognitive overload. Through gameplay mechanisms such as simulation, puzzle, and interactive exercise, game-based learning activities can promote active engagement with mathematical content while minimizing cognitive strain on students. Next, flow theory in game-based learning. The flow theory proposed by Menelik Csikszentmihalyi in the 1670 suggests that individuals experience a state of optimal engagement and enjoyment known as flow when they are fully immersed in an activity that challenges their skills in balance with their perceived level of difficulty. According to this theory, flow occurs when individuals are deeply focused on a task, experiencing a sense of control and concentration, and losing track of time and self-awareness. In this context of education, flow is associated with heightened motivation, enjoyment, and cognitive engagement. Game-based learning environments are uniquely positioned to facilitate flow experience for students by offering challenge yet achievable tasks that capture their interest and sustain their attention. Moreover, game-based learning environment offer a sportive and immersive context for students to explore mathematical concepts and apply problem-solving strategies. By integrating elements for challenge, feedback, and exploration, game-based learning activity can evoke a sense of curiosity in students, driving them to persist in their learning effort and seek mastery of mathematical concepts. As students experience success and overcome obstacles within the game, they may develop a sense of accomplishment and self-efficiency, further enhancing their motivation and engagement. Next, I will tell about finding of past research that related to this study. The first one, in the study of target kesan pembelajaran berasaskan permainan digital Minecraft terhadap pencapaian murid tahun 5 dalam pecahan by Tangkoi dan Kyong. The researchers examined the effect of digital game-based learning using Minecraft on improving student achievement in fraction. The researcher conducted pre- and post-test assessment on both the treatment and control group to evaluate the effectiveness of game-based learning in terms of mastery of fraction concept and actively student engagement during the instructional process. The treatment group was exposed to digital game-based learning using Minecraft, while the control group was exposed to the conventional method. There was a significant difference in the mean achievement scores between the treatment group and the control group. This study provided clear insight into how to measure the effectiveness of using game-based learning method in teaching. Next is in the study improving rational number knowledge using the Nanorobot Maths digital game by Karki. The researcher investigated the impact of playing the Nanorobot Maths game on students' adaptive rational number conceptual knowledge. The student employed a quasi-experimental design where pre- and post-test assessment were conducted on both the experimental and control group. Participants completed this assessment as part of their regular homework. During the study period, the experimental group played Nanorobot Maths in 3 mathematics lessons, while the control group continued with their usual schoolwork. Additionally, an interest questionnaire was employed in the experimental school to collect the students' perception of mathematics and the Maths Island system. The results show a statistically significant positive effect of game performance on adaptive rational number knowledge, even after considering participant grade level and pre-test scores. This study offers valuable insight into assessing the effectiveness of game-based learning method in enhancing students' active learning as well as improving understanding of mathematical concepts. Next, in the study of enhancing achievement and interest in mathematical learning through Maths Island, this study contributed valuable insight into evaluating the effectiveness of game-based learning approach in enhancing students' active learning in terms of motivation and engagement, as well as improving understanding of mathematical concepts. Next, in the study of educationally game-based learning encouraged learners to be actively engaged in their own learning, the researcher highlighted the potential of educational games to enhance literacy across various disciplines, emphasizing the importance of meaningful and relevant learning experience linked to the real-world application. The study suggests that game-based learning has the potential to enhance learners' interest in subjects and serve as a motivating factor for engaging with relevant material with real-world application. Thus, it is evident that game-based learning can foster active learning among students compared to traditional instructional methods. Next is, in the study of game-based learning approach using interactive multimedia learn fraction among primary school children by Siti Zulaiha et al., it is highlighted that fractional game-based learning is a software application designed to facilitate fraction learning through game-based learning technique. Integrated with multimedia principle, the researcher followed a structured three-phase development model which include analysis, development, and evaluating stage. Both primary school students and teachers involved in this study expressed agreement that fractional game-based learning provides an enjoyable learning experience. The study concluded that fractional game-based learning serves as an engaging tool for students to enhance their mathematical skills, particularly in understanding fraction concepts. The game-based learning approach examined in the study has indeed been proven effective in fostering student active learning in terms of motivation and engagement during the learning process, as well as improving understanding of mathematical concepts. Next, we'll talk about Chapter 3, Methodology. Firstly, I will tell about research design. The form of this study is quantitative study that uses a quasi-experimental study designed to collect data. This study used a pre- and post-test design of the control group and the experimental group. T1 refer to pre-test achievement of the experimental and control group, and T2 refer to post-test achievement of the experimental and control group. So this is the diagram. As illustrated, a pre-test and post-test design with both experimental and control group. This study employs a random sampling method involving a total of 60 respondents from different classes. Now we will talk about sampling method. The simple random sampling conducted in this research only aimed the pupils in Year 3 from the Tuaran district that take mathematics subject. This research will only involve one school. The sample consists of 60 pupils from Year 3 which study in a same school in the Tuaran district. The school also need to have fast and reliable internet access to facilitate the implementation of game-based learning. So, next is research instrument. To measure the research question and obtain the desired data, the researcher prepared two instruments for this study. The first one is questionnaire and the second one is pre and post test. Now we will talk about the questionnaire. The questionnaire consists of two main parts, which is part A and part B. The Likert scale questionnaire includes strongly disagree, uncertain, agree, and strongly agree. For part A, this section pertains to demographic information or personal detail of the respondent. The question in this section contains 6 subjective questions concerning class, gender, religion, and ethnicity. For part B, in this section, it is to measure the level of active learning of students during the teaching and learning process. This section consists of 24 items that have been modified from previous questionnaire items and adapted to suit the language proficiency of Year 3 students. For pretest and post-test, the question items developed in the research instrument are based on references to the mathematics syllabus of Year 3 KSSR and the Year 3 mathematics textbook, which cover subtopics such as prism and non-prism, regular polygon, and axis of symmetry in the topic of space for Year 3. So this is the conceptual framework that the figures show. The conceptual framework of the study illustrated the effectiveness of game-based learning on the level of active learning conceptual understanding in mathematics. The study has two dependent variables, the level of active learning and the mathematical conceptual knowledge. Next, treatment procedure. These figures show that study the research aims to assess students' level of understanding of mathematical concept in the topic of space in Year 3. The pretest is given a duration of 15 minutes for student to answer all structured questions before this method is applied. After the intervention, the final stage in this research procedure is to provide two main instruments to assess the level of active learning and mathematical concept knowledge through the post-test. And then, for the pilot study, a pilot study will be conducted at school in the Tuaran district involving a sample of 60 third grade students. The sample consists of 30 students for the experimental group and 30 students for the control group. Pretests are administered to both groups. For the experimental group, the intervention, which is game-based teaching, game-based learning, is implemented during a 1-hour PDPC sessions, while the control group uses traditional teaching method related to space learning for grade 3. After completing the PDPC session, students are asked to take a post-test for 15 minutes followed by a questionnaire on the level of active learning in mathematics. The finding from the pilot study will be analyzed using SPSS. Any improvement will be made if the planned pilot study has weaknesses and shortcomings. Next, data collection procedure. This study will proceed upon obtaining permission from the school authorities after discussion with the involved teachers. As I said before, after the teaching session, the researcher will administer a post-test within 15 minutes, right? Following this, the researcher will allocate 10 minutes for the study sample, which comprises third grade students, to complete the provided questionnaire and return it to the researcher. The same procedure will be carried out for the control group, with the difference being the intervention used. In this case, traditional teaching method will be employed. The data collection process occurs at different times. The collected data will be analyzed using appropriate methodologies based on the researcher question and to meet the researcher hypothesis. This is how data analysis procedure. The first one is analysis of students' active learning survey. Through the finding of the survey to be conducted on 60 samples, namely third grade students from 2 urban category schools in the Tuaran district, the total score for each item will be divided into 5 levels, and a score at the lower level indicates that the level of active learning in mathematics is low, and vice versa. The analysis of the score matrix based on a minimum item score of 1 and a maximum score of 3 relating to the Likert scale, and analysis of student level of active learning in mathematics according to the group of game-based learning and traditional teaching method. To obtain a comparison for the difference in the level of active learning in mathematics between the experimental group and the control group, an independent test analysis is used. The independent test will be used to compare mean scores. This is because both groups are separate and independent of each other, referred to as independent sample. The t-test analysis method for this questionnaire is conducted using SPSS version 26. And for analysis of the effectiveness of enhancing game-based learning students' mathematical concept, analysis of the effectiveness, the mean scores for the pre-test and post-test for both groups. The calculation of mean test scores will be based on the response to 8 structured questions related to the topic of shape in Year 3. Paired sample t-test will be conducted to determine whether there is an improvement in mathematical concept knowledge using game-based learning or not. Paired sample t-test is used to compare the mean scores of the pre-test and post-test for both experimental and control group. And the last part is reference. So this is the reference during the my study research. That's all from me. Thank you.